Hello and welcome back for another installment of Little Sandeman's Livestream with Chris Sandeman. And it is 5 o'clock, just after 5 o'clock, here in dark New York City. We are over in Dyker Heights this evening, folks, because Dyker Heights is where annually New Yorkers descend down in one neighborhood to terrorize the local residents and take all of their parking spots by coming to view the Christmas lights. Christmas lights here in Dyker Heights, it's a tradition that extends back to the distant 1980s. And we're going to go see the houses where that Christmas light tradition first began. We're going to see also the oldest, well, maybe not the oldest, but the best example of an old house from 1899 that will represent the housing development that blew up here 120 years ago in Dyker Heights, good old Queen Anne building. Hey, Nikki, welcome, welcome, and greetings to Scotland, and Diana, greetings to California. I mean, pretty cool that we're spanning big distance there and joining together as we are 2 weeks away from the magic Christmas day. And you know what? I'll tell you, regardless if you are Muslim or Buddhist or Jewish, Catholic even, then Christmas is now for you. And I think that's part of the story of Dyker Heights, which is that the commercialization of this holiday. And nothing represents the commercialization of Christmas and the kind of secularization of Christmas than, in my opinion, Christmas lights. Because it's something everyone can get into, and it really doesn't make a difference whether you're religious or not religious, whether you're Christian or not Christian. It's really a holiday for everyone, and now at least, I think. And that wasn't the case always, folks, because actually Christmas lights and the way that we're going to look around and explore them this evening doesn't really get going until the 1880s. And why? Because, well, electricity, right? So you really needed that to happen before that. Before that, we were decorating Christmas trees, but we were using wax candles. No wonder there were fires back in the 1850s through 70s. And really, that's going back to when 1850s, even before that, 1840s is when German immigrants into the United States bring their tradition of decorating Christmas trees with them across the Atlantic. And those first Christmas trees which will be decorated are going to be decorated in tinsel and metallic objects, paint even. It's the 1850s that we'll have the first Christmas tree market at Madison Square Market here in New York City. I'm on, of course, the Brooklyn side right now, the east side of the East River, Manhattan, away from us. In fact, we're very close where we are right now. We're very close to Staten Island, in fact, just across the Verrazano Straits, the Verrazano Bridge, which would take us over there. And in fact, this neighborhood of Dyker Heights and Bay Ridge, directly to the west of us. You've got Bensonhurst directly to the east of us right now. But this neighborhood is actually part of the, thank you, Nikki, for passing on Ross's message. And Jenny Jean, thank you for the Purple Heart. Always good to see you. And sorry to be a stranger. So here we are, Christmas times. But like I was saying, Dyker Heights, Bay Ridge actually connected to Staten Island as far as political representation is concerned. So this is actually, along with Staten Island, this part of New York City down here in Dyker Heights and to the west of us, in Bay Ridge, it's the only district in New York City represented by a member of the Republican Party. And that is probably not so much a description of the local politics in the area that we're going to be exploring tonight, but more a fact that it is connected to, from a legislative or a representative perspective, it's connected to Staten Island, which is very much a Republican stronghold, not just in New York City, but New York State. So Marcela Chavez, watching from Peru, welcome. Welcome, thanks for joining. And Anna Maria, thanks for being here. I wanted to start by 5 o'clock here in New York time, so that way it wouldn't be too late on a Saturday evening in Europe, and also be able to allow people from the UK, Nikki and Ross, to be able to say hi. So that's wonderful. Thank you guys all for being here. Why not continue and while we're here live together, why not go and explore some of these fantastic Christmas lights now that we've been rolling for a couple of minutes and being able to join together. I'm going to start as we walk down the street. We'll notice there's a lot of people around as we kind of head to the prime time. I'm warming you up to start with some not so fancy Christmas lights. The Christmas lights around this area that we're looking at might even be created by the people that live directly in this neighborhood. Not usually the case here in Dyker Heights. We're going to talk more about that as we go. But first, come on, let's get into the spirit and see some Christmas lights. And Jenny, thanks for also being over there on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Aw. So right now, guys, we are between 10th Avenue and 11th Avenue on 82nd Street in Dyker Heights. If you want to follow along live and kind of get a feeling of where we are, and getting a feeling right away for some of your more basic decorations. The sun has just set here very recently. Set about, what do we got now? Just coming on about 45 minutes ago. We had sunset, but the night sky is pretty dark already, as you can tell. But it is an unseasonably warm evening right now here in New York City. It is 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's just go to Yahoo Weather, rather than me doing math in my head right now to try to calculate what that is in Celsius. We'll just have the computer do a quick changeover for me. And that means that we're looking at a high of 17 degrees Celsius right now. That is not a record, but is nearly a record. The record in New York for the month of December is only a couple of degrees warmer. 65 degrees was the record set back in 2015. So we're only a few degrees off of that. Very warm, very comfortable evening. Hi, Michelle, you found us. And welcome to Dyker Heights, here in the southwest corner of Brooklyn. Brooklyn, the largest borough, geographically speaking. Actually, not true. Queens is second largest borough, but largest by population of the New York 5 boroughs. We've got another lovely house decoration over there. Oh, Brenda, great to see you. Thanks for joining for a little bit of Christmas decorations. And Anna Maria, you're absolutely right. They are lovely decorations. And we are just getting started here. Now, this neighborhood, which begins this tradition when two neighbors directly across the street from each other, we're going to go look at their houses in a little bit, when that starts in the late 1880s, it picks up, and other people start to pick up the tradition, to the point now that most people in this neighborhood will decorate their houses. You will get decorations of one kind or another. Now the question is, do you do it yourself or do you hire it out? And the more elaborate decorations, don't get me wrong, it's still amazing. Of course, I mean, maybe even more amazing, it is actually the homeowners hiring local companies to come in and help decorate the houses on their behalf. They'll store your decorations, they'll set them up, they'll take them down, and you pay for that service. But the real cost often for these houses is not the decorations or having them put up, taken down. It is the electricity bill that Con Edison, our local electric company here, will end up racking up against your utility usage. And the rumor has it that the larger light decorations, ones that we're going to see in a little bit, will end up costing the owner of that house as much as $8,000. $8,000 for the month of December. Now these decorations go up right after Thanksgiving, which of course happened just 2 weeks ago at the end of November. And these decorations will stay up for most of the houses all the way through until the beginning of January. So usually by the King's Days, those decorations will start to come down. Michelle asks, are you on YouTube? Yes, I am. And I know because Diana just recently commented that the decorations are very pretty. Thank you, Diana. Always great. And Brenda comments on Facebook, that is a crazy amount. Yeah, $8,000. Imagine paying like £5,000 just so tourists can come look at your Christmas lights. It's a little bit mad, but when we look at some of the houses, well, I think that maybe it's just a rounding error for some of the homeowners in this neighborhood. They have some very, very attractive homes. Well, let's cross over this way, why don't we? Let these guys go. Yes, and Michelle found us on YouTube. Fantastic, welcome. So the lights that we've been, look at this, the lovely house, Greek Revival style. You can see, not one of the older buildings, because, well, not the typical time period for 1890, the late 1800s, 1890s, when this neighborhood was developed to be a residential neighborhood to begin with. Before that, what you had here was some farmland, but not very much used or very well used farmland because the slope here. There's a big slope in Dyker Heights, the Heights, of course, making it not the best neighborhood for you to want to like farm in. And although originally kind of originally moved into by a Civil War Union general, it's really developed after that by a guy by the name of Walter Johnson, about 120 years ago. And Maria writes, $8,000, the equivalent of a lot of trips. Oh yeah, definitely. And look, and here's the thing. This neighbor here is trying to get into her home. She lives here. She's decorated the space, but she had to get all these people out of the way so she could just go into her own driveway. And that is the name of the game right here in Dyker Heights during these next couple of weeks, that these lovely people who decorate their homes for us all to enjoy end up then having to tolerate us taking their parking spaces on the street and coming and enjoying their electricity bills. It's lovely. Well, I'm incredibly grateful. It is my second favorite place to explore during the Christmas holidays. And my first favorite place is a place we will be going and visiting, which is up to Rockefeller Center and the Rockefeller tree, which also in itself starts a tradition in the 1930s. 1931 is when that tree first arrives at Rockefeller Center, down in a construction pit below where they're building 30 Rock, which stands as a centerpiece to that complex today. This tradition here, 50 years later, right, 1980s, is when we first come out and we can really document the fact that we had Christmas lights extravaganza taking place here in Dyker Heights and other parts of Brooklyn as well. Enough attention, right, to the area that it merits having food trucks. That's the point. You know that something's happening in New York when the food trucks show up. So we are now heading down 83rd Street. We're heading down 83rd Street. We're between 11th and 12th. We're heading towards this green lit area. Most of the decorations that you'll see here in Dyker Heights, just real quick, another nice Greek Revival style building here. Most of the decorations that you see here in Dyker Heights only extend tree, on the building itself. You can see here, they've actually lit up both sides of the sidewalk, right? So you feel like you're walking down an alleyway of lights around you. And yeah, I mean, just tell me, isn't this just gorgeous? The green lights and the trailings of these little white sparkling starfalls kind of coming from this tree. Thank you guys. Thanks for paying someone to decorate your house for us to enjoy. It is absolutely gorgeous. And who decorated this particular house? Well, here we go. B&R Christmas decorations. So they'll come in, they will, work with the owner to set up a concept, and then they will, decorate. And at the end, you can have them take everything down again, store the lights or decorations if you own them, or and you have the same theme every year, or pitch a different theme, kind of like a different Halloween costume for you. Dana writes, so many green lights, and Anna Maria says, is there a Grinch in there? Right? I mean, but I feel like it's the Grinch after the Grinch turned into an absolute lover of Christmas and like got caught up. It is like Grinch post like Christmas epiphany, So, and this is another thing that's really, really cool here is that actually what a lot of the homeowners do is they pick a cause, this Michael's cause, as a donation location, charitable, philanthropic effort for the work that they're doing, and they raise a lot of money, and they do a really good thing. So that's what this guy's out here doing right now. He's talking about the cause, and helping people, make the right decision and make a donation. So, Helen, great seeing all the beautiful lights. Hey, thanks, Aunt Helen. Great to see you here. Thanks, no doubt, Michelle, for letting her know to join in. Very cool. And Brenda, yes, it is a great way to collect money for charities. It's ironic. I was talking with some friends about charities and charitable giving, and this crazy, interesting statistic that many of you guys, I think, who are not millionaires or billionaires watching right now will be really interesting to know, but that actually the wealthier you are, it is a fact, the less of your annual income or your organizations. You've certain spikes, of course, with your Warren Buffetts and your Bill Gates and things like that, but for the most part, it is people of lesser means who actually are more charitable as a percentage of their own wealth and their own income. A humbling thing that those with less tend to give more, ironically. But the whole concept of charitable giving, of philanthropy, if you will, starts really in the United Kingdom in the mid-1800s. And that concept then spreads amongst the upper class to the United States as well, and the Brits and the Americans end up being your first great philanthropists. I mean, on the kind of the social giving scale, and in exchange, their names decorate and adorn the halls and buildings that their wealth and influence would help construct and build. So I always think about that a lot during the holidays, of course, because of the giving and the rest of it, but also when we go to Rockefeller Center, we will see the statue of Prometheus, who lies golden on his back, staring down on the ice skating rink below the Christmas tree, below 30 Rock. And in many ways, one could say that Prometheus was the first philanthropist. If you look at the kind of definition of philanthropy, philotropy, it's loving of human, right? Loving of humans. And Prometheus's great gift of love was to steal fire from the gods and give that to mankind. A great gift for us, but he's punished, of course, after that. And Prometheus ends up having to, have his I think it's his liver eaten out every night by eagles, or an eagle, and then heals him throughout the evening, and then in the morning he kind of wakes up and they start eating him again. So, fire for us. Anyway, that's just me rambling along as we talk about giving, and thank you, Prometheus, for giving us fire. We have light, comes to the same kind of place. Anna Maria, sorry for not responding. Haha, that's how the rich stay rich. Well, yeah, it's true. I mean, the rich do manage to stay rich, don't they? But you get it. Once you have, why would you want to give up, right? Let's cross the streets real quick and not get hit. Marcella, what hours are the lights on? So I got here around 4 o'clock to start pre-walking the area and checking out the route and familiarizing myself with a couple of the buildings that we're heading towards in a second. And I'd say about half the lights were already on before the sun had actually set. How late do they stay on? I imagine, and this isn't a great answer, I imagine much later than the neighbors would prefer. But I think that maybe there's a light ordinance by around midnight or something. In theory, they're supposed to close. Oh, I can see a tour group. Good for them. The spirit of Christmas, to sell tours to a place. That kind of represents commercialization of Christmas in a lovely way, though. I really like these kind of decorations as well, that the physical ornaments, the physical shapes, I think are really pretty cool, as well as the, as well as your light decorations. So Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to all of you guys, too. Oh, here we go, Nativity Scene. First Nativity Scene that we've seen this evening. And, well, I feel like someone is missing. Maybe that's because he hasn't gotten here yet. We are a little bit early for the big arrival, if you know what I mean. Hey, Shannon! God, you still don't have power? I saw a brief mention of that on Zuckerbook. And,
Could you look at me? Look at Grandma. Salvatore, look.
Oh, she doesn't look old enough to be a grandma.
No, that's the picture you're going to get. That's it.
So, guys, slip by. Shannon, heart goes out to you. Gosh. Was there a prognosis on you getting your power back on again? Is it your place, or is it Canada? It just feels like it's not the right time for it, although at least it's not too cold. But tell us more, because we're concerned. And by we, I don't mean the royal we. I mean me and Diana and everybody else who's here and listening. So, all right. So this is, guys, we're about to hit it. We're gonna go main attraction. Shannon, lights on when you're biking, though, huh? Shannon writes, no, it went out again. Last week was only 6 hours. Hurricane force winds, 136 kilometer gusts have been measured. Gosh, it was really windy here today as well, but incredibly warm. Lorraine, hello to Kingston. Is anyone else experiencing pretty extreme weather conditions right now? It feels like a weird December. Hurricane force gales up in Canada. Incredibly warm temperatures here in New York. Taking tornado. It's strange times. But, well, yeah. I hazard to say maybe it's climate change. Maybe it's climate change. Hey, George! One night on your bay. Welcome to the Christmas extravaganza. We've seen B&R Christmas decorations before, and here is another one of their decorative miracles here. Wow, this one is a great one. We've been going for 25 minutes, guys. The plan is for us to stream for about a whole hour. And if you're listening to me right now, you're watching live. Although, if you're watching as playback, you wouldn't know whether it was live or not. So I mean, you can look at the watch and be like, is it that same time? And then you'll know it was the same. Sorry, enough of me. Back to this. Yeah. So this is going to take us around the first corner. We're going to head up onto 84th Street. Brenda wrote, I had 2 bad storms in the UK recently. Some people had no power for over a week. And Anna says, quite warm in Paris as well. Diana, I second your wow. Both about the lights, but also the weather conditions that are going on right now. So stay safe. Stay safe, everyone out there. And send Shannon batteries, or hopes for electricity to start. And Shannon, you know, if you ever need a place to stay, come down to New York. Just gotta do that 24-hour COVID test, and no reason to sit in the dark whatsoever. So. Another nativity, and notice that baby Jesus is also not here. And I wonder if that's a theme. Anyone that has a nativity scene at home for themselves, do you not add baby Jesus to the nativity until like later? Because he's not actually there yet. Although the wise men are already there. So like, they showed up early if the baby's not here, because they're not supposed to show up until after the baby. So, I don't know. History. See, everyone wants to know, where's the baby? Well, George, only on the 25th is when the baby shows up. Well, there you go. We've learned something important. Here we go. We've got some. What did the snowman say to the second snowman? Snowman joke. All right. So I'm walking up the hill now, and we've got some bell music playing in the background. Marcella writes, yes, I believe or the Catholic religion. Yes, exactly right. Exactly that. It appears that baby Jesus does not show up until the 25th. Fair enough. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because that was the day that the winter solstice is on, right? So, good day to pick as Jesus' birthday. Oh yeah, Anna Maria, you got a lot of nice cars in this neighborhood. So we've got some Nutcracker action going on here. Not one of the official famous houses, which are just up the street from us right now, but they've done a great job. Winter solstice, thank you, is on the 21st, Shannon. Perfect. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on this guy. Hearing lots of German right over here. These guys are Germans. They're visiting from international. They're getting their Instagrams on. front of the lights. Good for them. Definitely, I'd say a mix of international tourists and local tourism. You know, local visitors and international visitors. So thanks everyone who is here right now enjoying New York and helping support our great city. And thank you guys for watching right now, because you watching and enjoying a little visit to Dyker Heights in southern Brooklyn is something that a lot of people wouldn't normally get to do when they were visiting New York. So I'm glad to be able to see this and see it. Great point, Nikki. Most of these homes could easily pass as the Home Alone house, and a great setup for us doing a visit to, of course, the tree at Rockefeller Center, as it was not
so beautiful, right?
the only, it was not, it was where our Home Alone family reunites, not once but twice. So always a good one. Brenda writes, never known that here to not put that baby Jesus in the crib until Christmas Day, right? Yeah, me neither, Brenda. I never knew that myself. So we definitely will learn something. Well, look, take a look here. We've got a massive crowd forming. And the reason why we have this big old crowd right here is because we have made it to one of our really famous houses, and hence we've got this big old crowd because it was back here in the 1980s that none other than Lucy Spata helped start this tradition. She is a complete Christmas nut, and she decorates, you know, half the duplex here. You can see there's a section that's not decorated, but she decorates the other half with all sorts of holiday stuff, and, you know, toy soldiers and Santas and nutcrackers and reindeers and Christmas balls, and hence why we get our lovely crowd here. And all sorts of Christmas taking photos here. Mark, hey, oh, good to see you. Been a while, and very happy for you to join us here on this unseasonably warm evening in Brooklyn, New York, Dyker Heights, Brooklyn, New York, as we see one of the two original big important houses for Dyker Heights, and you know, and this Christmas tradition. So, yeah, you're gonna. Anna Maria, 64 and storming here. Crazy warm day, writes Mark. Yeah, in Paris, Anna has written to us, also a very warm day. Of course, in Kentucky today, you know, crazy weather as well, and you know, hearts go out to the folks in Kentucky right now, for sure. So, weird weather, for sure. These, I don't know if you guys can tell, if I stop moving for a second, you can see that these reindeer are actually pivoting on a little gizmo to have them kind of move back and forth. I actually think it's really cool. Although that Santa Claus on the wall looks terrifying to me. That is the type of Santa that scares little kids, you know, more than just coal. Brenda, have a good night. Thanks for joining. For the rest of you guys out in Europe and in the UK, don't feel like you gotta stay. I really appreciate it, yeah, but you can always finish watching this tomorrow. I'm only gonna go for another 25 minutes or so. But to Brenda, I have one thing to say, and that is Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Brenda. Have a good night. So, yeah, let's take another quick look here. Anna writes, are there cases when the installations caught fire? I don't have any famous fire stories from these installations. they only started in the 1980s. So, you know, it hasn't been around really long enough to maybe have too much fire action.
Wow.
But I'm hearing like a lot of Italian now. Whoop, pardon me. Slip by. We'll get to the front, guys, real quick, so you guys can all have a quick view, close up, and then we'll get out of the way and we'll let everyone else have their great view. And that would be where you'd be heading up the stairs if you were a spot that yourself. So, and here, Queen of Christmas and little kids who are enjoying. How amazing. Okay, sorry. Out of the way. Oop, pardon me. Just take one more. This is the line to sit in the Christmas chair. You can see people are ready for this. Lovely. Christmas spirit here in full effect, guys. Well, we'll walk up a little bit more and take a look at a couple more homes. Including this one right here across the street, which is none other than the Saita house. And the Saita house, as you can guys see, this Greek Revival style home here with this green wall in front of it and this dumpster right here. Unfortunately, it is not decorated this year. This is the home of none other than Alfred Polesito, and along with our friend over here, Spata, Polesito was one of the first two people to do a massive decoration back here in the late 80s. This is 1145 84th Street. And unfortunately, the gentleman who eventually passed away a few years ago, his family continued to decorate the house up until 2020. So last year was its last year of being decorated. And Maria, yes, I would call that probably a mansion, yes. I'm gonna say it's a mansion, small mansion. Mansion's the size of the building, not the size of the property around it. So Polesito, along with back here, Spata, right, Lucy Spata and Alfred Polesito, they were like, let's do it. And they went nuts with their Christmas lights. Polesito, he actually was celebrating the fact that he had cancer and his cancer had gone into remission. So he leads the charge by lighting up his home, which has passed away now. And like I said, the family continued the tradition for years until eventually last year was the last year. So let's continue, and worth looking at that house just to say, hey, here's an example of a home that once was one of the great Christmas tree houses on this street, but it is not any longer today. Now, a second ago, I falsely named that house the Saita house, when it actually was the Polesito house. This here is the Saita house. And although I have to honestly say that during the nighttime, I am not able to really give you guys, the full upward view of it, the full beauty of this home. Let me see if maybe if I come at it from a different angle really quick, I can show it to you. Because this home was built in 1899, and it is a great example of a Queen Anne style home, original home to this neighborhood from back in the day. But I feel like the lighting on it might make it difficult for us to show. Nikki asks, do the homeowners here decorate their homes for Halloween also? And the answer is yes, they do. Not anywhere near this same level of decorative nature but they do decorate these homes to a good deal. And there are actually some crossover places where we can see where skeletons and Santa Claus actually are decorating the same homes together because Christmas has flown together with Halloween. Well, it's not the best view of this place, and there are people working on the outside of it, so I'm going to leave that space. But just again, in the back of our heads, oldest home in the neighborhood right there, dating back to 1899, Queen Anne style. House, large house, small mansion. That gives us a good feeling of what the original neighborhood would have looked like back when it was first being developed by Samuel Taylor? Right, Samuel Taylor. Okay. Ooh. All right. So we're going to continue straight up 84th Street right now. And we're going to be heading across 11th Avenue in a second. And we're kind of coming to the end of our experience. There's still some good winners for us to check out. But also I think what's really interesting is it's like if I didn't know better, I would say that I was being followed by a Christmas army of zombies, like Christmas zombies, which seems more like an Easter thing to have zombies than Christmas. I feel like it's a different holiday, coming back from the dead and all. Whereas this one is not about rebirth itself. So. Woo! Little wind, giving you guys a little cover. Now this one, Anna Maria, I cannot help but feel like also has a mansion-esque quality to it. It's big. I don't know if you're getting a feeling for how large this space is, but it's got some square footage. And it also has a great garden out here. Absolutely lovely. A lot of space, a lot of white lights. Hey, Charlene, thanks for joining. I second. Absolutely. Oops, sorry about that, my friends. We're going to take the opportunity and cross. Traffic backed up on both sides. And another ice cream truck. Second one tonight, hot chocolate and popcorn. Yum. Well, to any folks out there who might be from Dyker Heights yourself, whether you're watching this live with us right now or you're watching this sometime in the future as a playback, and you're interested as to what was happening in your neighborhood at 5:45 p.m. on December 11th in 2021, this is what was happening. And I want to express my gratitude to you. Thank you, people of Dyker Heights, and also those of Bensonhurst and neighboring Bay Ridge, and even those across the Verrazano Straits, even those in Staten Island. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing in this absolutely lovely Christmas spirit. And for lighting your houses. If you see your home here, please make sure that you comment later on. And for all the rest of you, if you're watching on YouTube, just go hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed yet, just go ahead and smash the subscribe button. I'm supposed to say at the beginning of the video. Never remember. All right. Anna Maria, it reminds me of the big expensive houses I saw in Sausalito several years ago. I'm with ya. And Charlene says, I guess this needs to go on my travel list. Please, guys. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, absolutely. Well, New York is so much more than just Midtown. So, like, this is not an easy place to get to. I drove here after helping a buddy this morning with his boat out in Far Rockaways. Hey Pete, if you're watching, no hard feelings, man. We didn't manage to get the boat out of the water, which was the plan, but we did get the sails off the boat, so still a win. Still a win. And here, what we have is another, and actually the last of the great famous homes, if you will. This is what's often known as the small wonder house, or the small world house. Pardon me. So you have different representations, of and different dolls representing different locations. Theory. No, I'm not going to say that's actually what I'm seeing. I'm going to say that the research on this is wrong. I think that these look like we got some Frosties, some reindeer, and this guy actually lives here. So this is his place. I saw him earlier on spraying down the sidewalk. So that's the guy to be thankful to, right there. And he's dodged my camera. He knew. Well, we'll enjoy it. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for doing this.
Ben, get out of the way. Sorry.
Okay, no,
All right, get a little bit closer. Yes. Anna Maria, great question. What was my favorite decoration so far? I have to be honest, my favorite spot has got to be the green alleyway. I loved that they did such an awesome job of putting the lights around the trees going down the alleyway as well. And you can see here, you got a little bit of that, right? We've got this little bit of red tree right here, but the green ones, one after the other, that blew me away, Anna Maria. I think that was my favorite. I thought that was really well done. Joel, welcome, visiting us from Sydney, Australia. Hey, brother. Feel like we've got weather similar to what you'd have down in Australia right now. I mean, I guess it's much warmer down there than we have, but 17, 18 degrees, still pretty warm. And I'm just amazed by these just masses of people. It's still, COVID days, and it's interesting to see so many people all together out here.
Look at the.
Oh.
Look at the eyes of the nutcrackers up above there. Look at the eyes of the nutcrackers.
Oh, we got a tour guide tip. His advice was to look at the eyes of the nutcrackers, and sure enough, they are very scary looking. Why are they glowing like that? Like possessed nutcrackers. Oh, Charlene and Joel both in Sydney. And Maria, I would like to see that picture. And Kathy writes, it's gorgeous. I miss going there as a child. Kathy, tell us, without having to, date yourself, when was that you were coming and visiting? And do you remember any specific trees or any specific houses from your time as a child coming and visiting Dyker Heights? Yeah, Cypri writes, awesome. I agree. Oh, it's hard to draw myself away from this because I feel like anything that we're going to see after this amazing tree is only going to be anticlimactic. But let's walk up the street a little bit together as we kind of come to our last minutes together for this live stream. And this is usually when I'd say when for sure I'd be doing my next live stream and taking you guys to to Rockefeller Center. And I gotta figure out when that's gonna be. Should it be tomorrow? Is tomorrow a good day for it? Yes, tomorrow. If you're around tomorrow, let's go up to Rockefeller Center. We're gonna go see the light show at Saks on 5th Avenue. And we're gonna visit Rock Center. We'll see the Christmas tree over there. Maybe we'll hit Grand Central, or maybe we'll hit the library, main branch, head over to Times Square. But we'll do an hour, which will feature the tree, focus on the tree, Rock Center, as well as Saks lights. That's what's gonna happen. All right, tomorrow, 5 p.m. New York time, which will be 11 p.m. EU time. Apologies, guys, for work night. 10 p.m. UK time, but you know we'll be able to have the lights. So, and that's what we really need. So tomorrow, Rock Center, 5 p.m. See, I announced it. There it is. Now I'll just have to post it on Facebook and YouTube. Here we have Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is not one of the fancier buildings. Shannon's not at work that time. Nice, good. Oh, great, Diana. Good. I'm glad to be able to share Rock Center. And Joel, I know it's weird times for you, but on, what is that? What is Sunday at 5 p.m. in New York, in Australia? What time does that make it? I guess like 2 a.m. So, yeah, that'll be good. And Shannon, always good to know that it's a time that I'll be able to have you join us.
Santa's beard is white, yeah.
That's
9:45, Joel writes. Nikki writes, great tour, Chris. Thank you, Nikki. Love you. Ross says, check your phone. He met someone famous at his work. Uh-oh. Was it Santa Claus? Or Brad Pitt? Either one of those count for me. Yes, I will check. I haven't looked, but I'm excited to see.
on the other side.
I just love this tour group thing. Hold on a second. Let me see. Sorry, you guys know I work in tourism, so for me, seeing large tour groups and people like with umbrellas. Oh, what was I saying before? Boom. It's a crossover. Oh my God. Oh, so cool. Ross met Roger Bart, a very famous actor, currently playing Doc Brown in the Back to the Future musical, which Ross and Nikki were down in London to visit not too long ago. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Ross, for sharing that. Appreciate that. And Maria, where are the Coca-Cola trucks? Ah, yes. we have to kind of give it to Coca-Cola for really popularizing the idea of Santa Claus as this like jolly, red, clothed, white bearded kind of guy. And yes, right? How cool is that, Diana? We got our skeleton, our Christmas skeleton. It's like, hey, you get all these decorations for Halloween, why not use them for Christmas as well, right? No reason not to. So, oh, lovely. Oops, sorry about that. Apologies. Well, I still have a couple of minutes before I hit a whole hour. Gotta love this. There's nothing that this is entrepreneurial right here. These guys are selling stuff to people's kids, and there's poop on the streets, and everyone's being careful. And we're gonna cross over the street one last time. And say goodbye here in front of a little bit calmer space. Not so rapido.
This, by the way, das ist das einzige Gebäude mit dem Range.
Oh. Habt ihr das alles gehört? Das ist die einzige Gebäude mit einem Grinch da drin. See, it is worth learning multiple languages because then you don't miss out on the Grinch. Thank you, George. I appreciate you being here. Anna wrote, I saw them once in Rio. It's weird to see them by the beach at Christmas time. Yes, yeah, exactly. Oh, the Christmas stuff. It's true. We actually have multiple Grinches here because there we go. So Anna, Maria, you asked earlier on, was there a Grinch somewhere on this tour? In that greenhouse? No, but the Grinch made it twice to this home here. From B&R Christmas decorations. It's so great. So great. I wish that there was someone that would come and decorate my house like this. So neat. All right, guys. Well, as always, a real pleasure. Thank you guys for joining on the live stream right now. And if you're watching later on as part of playback, well, thanks as well. Sorry, I'm backlighting myself here because of all this beautiful Christmas stuff in the background. And tomorrow, if this is, in my opinion, the second most famous Christmas location for us to be able to visit here in New York City come the holidays, the most famous is that one in Midtown. The best reason for a New Yorker to go and visit Midtown at any time of the year is at Christmas time to go visit Rockefeller Center. So we're back tomorrow and let's get some Christmas spirit in. I look forward to it, and I'll see you guys all very, very soon. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Diana. Great to see you. Cipri, awesome. Thanks for being there. Michelle, a pleasure as always. Guys, if I don't see you tomorrow, Merry Christmas, but I will, hopefully. And thank you for all the support that you guys have provided over the last year. We've just been doing live streams for about a year. It hasn't gone exactly in the direction that I anticipated or thought it would, but still an omelet, which is figuring out what kind of eggs are going into it. So thanks for the support. That Grinch just said, I must stop Christmas from coming, and did a hip dance. Can't believe that I didn't catch that for you guys. Well, tomorrow when we get to Saks, we will catch the light show there, and we won't miss a bit of it. It kind of reminds me of like Munich's Glockenspiel, but it's like the New York Christmas department store version. So really cool. Okay, Anna Maria, you're very welcome. Great to see you guys, and good night. Enjoy. Talk to you all very, very, very soon. Signing off from Dyker Heights, Brooklyn, New York. It's Chris Sandeman. Merry Christmas. Talk to you very, very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.